the first day of A10 play. 15 teams with the same goal, be the last standing in Pittsburgh holding the championship trophy. VCU did that last year in Brooklyn and are in search of a repeat. Their first test are the Bonnies from St. Bonaventure, who look to continue their recent success at the Siegel Center. And with that, we welcome you courtside here at the Stew. I'm Sean Robertson. Great to be joined by Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team. Happy holidays to you and yours. VCU comes in with a 3-game winning streak, hot at the right time as they start A10 play. How do they look to continue that?
Well, they got to start off with St. Bonaventure and be physical and stick to what they do best. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but if they can stick to defense and getting in transition, I think they'll be fine.
The Bonnies come in 11-2, and a big reason why they're off to a hot start is our player to watch, Frank Mitchell, who's the only A10 player to average a double-double this season.
Frank Mitchell, he's a senior. He's 6'8", averaging 17 points per game, 11 rebounds. He's big and physical, but somehow light on his feet. He's a tremendous offensive rebounder and a space to take up on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. He's going to be a handful for VCU moving forward. Now, for VCU, Lazar Djokovic, Jr., 6'11", averaging 12 points per game, 5 rebounds. What makes him special is he's super versatile. He can shoot the three. He has some post game. He can pass the ball. But tonight he's going to have his hands filled dealing with Mitchell and his size. So I'd love to see these two big premier post players for the A10 go at it head-to-head. It's going to be something to see.
And now our CarMax keys to the game will start from the visitors from St. Bonaventure.
All right, now St. Bonaventure, they have to limit VCU's three-point opportunities. Keep VCU out the paint is very important. VCU likes to get into the paint to create pass opportunities for three-point shots. Also, they average around 28 attempts per game. Now, secondly, guard without fouling. VCU gets to the line 26 times, makes 19. They're third in the A10, 27th in the country. If they have that type of success, they're going to have St. Bonaventure's going to have trouble dealing with VCU. Now, the keys to the game for VCU, they need to dominate the paint. What do I mean by that? Attack the rim. Get to the free throw line. Create opportunities by touching the paint and kicking out and doing what you do best. Shoot threes, get in transition. Secondly, they need to dominate the boards. St. Bonaventure is a great rebounding team. It's do or die. If you don't rebound and dominate the paint, you will lose to St. Bonaventure. And they are led by Mitchell, who's averaging like 6 offensive rebounds per game. It's going to be key.
Bonaventure and VCU, it's time for the starting lineups for the Bonnies. Brought to you by the Red Door guys. They can help you get rid of that unwanted property just as fast as the Rams want to get rid of the Bonnies. Give the Red Door guy a call at 804-373-7267. Their starting lineup led by our player to watch, Frank Mitchell, leading rebounder in the A10, 4th best in the country at 11.4 rebounds a night. Starting lineup for VCU presented by Steelhead Management, an official partner of VCU Athletics, providing VCU and Ram fans with the best lineup both on and off the court. They're led by our player to watch, Lazar Djokovic, 3rd leading scorer at 12.2 points per game as the Bonnies win the opening toss, and we are underway for the start of the 2025-26 A10 conference season, and a Bonnie turnover to begin things.
I like the energy that Barry Evans has already started. I don't know if you noticed how he picked up the ball right there, but this is his former team.
That's right.
So he has a little chip on his shoulder today. I'd like to see what that produces.
Started his career with Coach Schmidt at St. Bonaventure, then went to Bryant. 3 put up and missed by Tracy, and the rebound squeezed in by Mitchell.
This is going to be a good A10 feel out for both teams.
Bonnies have won 2 of the last 3 here at the Siegel Center, and going glass is Frank Mitchell for the Bonnies' first 2.
And Frank Mitchell is one of these special guys. You always come across them every now and again where their body is just built. However, they have twinkle toes.
Evans with the sledgehammer for his first 2 against his former team.
I'm telling you, he seemed locked in from the get-go.
You just have those type of matchups where the intensity is raised, and you can see it already from Evans. He's got the assignment on Bowen. Mitchell from the free throw line has all 4 of St. Bonaventure's points.
And there's a part of being disciplined, too. You don't want to let your emotions take you out of the flow of the game.
And I think if you're Evans, you got to be careful of that too, right?
Absolutely.
Djokovic inside against Mitchell.
Mr. Bunny.
And another rebound for the conference's leading glass man, Frank Mitchell.
Now VCU is going to have to clean up their pick and roll defense when guarding Mitchell. You don't want to give him any easy opportunities.
Mitchell's first miss, and Djokovic a rebound. Here's Tracy in transition, last touch by the Bonnies, and Coach Schmidt harping at his transition defense, something he told us that has got to be at a premium this afternoon against VCU.
Absolutely. VCU is going to take every opportunity they have to push the pace and get out of transition. They score a lot that way. Bonaventure has to get back and build a wall so that so VCU can't get into the paint and create other opportunities for the players.
Tracy misfires on the three, and it went off of Lewis out of bounds.
That was a great possession defensively for St. Bonaventure, keeping VCU above the free throw line, like Coach Schmidt talked about in our interview, limiting their penetration, limiting the help side defense for kickouts for VCU.
What I was curious to get your thoughts of, what he said, he didn't want to give up grand slams. He wanted to use the baseball analogy, especially here at the Siegel Center. We can't give up grand slams against a team that is athletic as VCU, as Bowen puts up the shot and makes it over Evans.
Yeah, VCU, especially here at home, once the crowd gets into it, it's a completely different game. The Ramley is very strong. So you want to limit your turnovers, you want to limit your mistakes, because VCU has athletes that can make tremendous plays.
Daryl Simmons in transition hits a three and says a word or two to the VCU bench as the Bonnies have started on a 9-2 run. And a quick whistle as Caden Charles, the transfer from North Georgia, picks up his first.
In St. Bonaventure, they haven't done anything spectacular or anything out of the ordinary. They just have a style of play, and they stick to it. And if you're not ready to play, they will make you pay for it.
Can't play on your heels. That's what Coach Schmidt told us yesterday. If you want to win here, you got to go at VCU. Djokovic against Mitchell. Inside to Evans. Lewis in the corner. Hits his first three.
And I want to see Djokovic match the physicality of Frank Mitchell. Frank Mitchell's a big body. He's going to be pushing you all up in your chest the whole night. Djokovic is going to have to match that. He wants to have some success against him.
Mitchell lost 30 pounds from his time at Minnesota here at St. Bonaventure. Off-balance shot missed by Simmons. Tracy and VCU looking to run. Nice pass to Djokovic.
Hey.
And the Serbian Savage is on the scoreboard.
See, this is the thing where VCU is really going to have to push the pace. Frank Mitchell, key player, but he doesn't like running like that. So VCU can easily push the pace, get a mismatch like they just did on the previous play.
Pretty footwork there by Mitchell, but comes up a little short. VCU down by 2, a chance to tie. Here is Evans in transition, plus the foul, as Barry Evans will give VCU an opportunity to take the lead when we come back. With 15:35 to go in the first half. Game tied at 9. Barry Evans against his former team with 4 early on. There's a good look at the Peppers here at the Siegel Center on New Year's Eve, ringing in the new year here at a sold-out house at the Siegel Center. Conference opener between the Rams and St. Bonaventure, and we got the makers of a good one as we're tied at 9 behind Barry Evans, the former Bonnie.
Absolutely.
Coming up large early on against his former team.
Absolutely. And if you look at VCU's offense right now, majority comes to it in somewhat of a transition offense. St. Bonaventure has to do a better job of getting back, getting matched up, stopping the ball collectively, and keeping VCU out of the paint.
Evans could not complete the three-point play. He played in 65 games in Olean, 24 starts between 2022 and 2024 with Coach Schmidt at St. Bonaventure before he transferred to Bryant. And now a Ram. Here is Bowen over Djokovic. An air ball saved by Mitchell, deflected by Hill. Here's Evans in transition, and another sledgehammer.
He's the truth. His game never lies.
6 early on for Evans. He scored 8 in the win against Ryder, so well on pace to eclipsing what he did before the Christmas holiday.
And this is what VCU fans hope to see early on about Barry Evans' game.
3 put up and drained by Daniel Ibunwe. Shooting 41% from 3 this season. That is 13th best in the A10. And a hand check on Bowen.
St. Bonaventure, they have the guys that can knock down threes. However, they still don't take a lot of threes as a team.
Yeah, the Bonnies average right around, looking at my stats right here, they average about 7. They average about 7 makes per game this year and average less than 20 attempts on the season. Here's Djokovic inside and a chance at 3.
And this is where Djokovic can really impact the game, offensive rebounding. St. Bonaventure, though they're physical, they're a little height challenged. So Djokovic being 6'11", long wingspan, he should be able to eat consistently.
Ibunwe picks up the foul, his first. And Djokovic, who is second on the team in rebounding, he is in the top 15 in the A10 in that stat this season and lives at the free throw line. Converts again. He leads the team in makes and attempts at the stripe. He has the second most free throw attempts in the conference this year.
You got to feed the bigs. You got to feed the bigs. Good things happen when the bigs eat as well.
Rams back in front by 2. Bowen from the elbow. Offensive rebound by Charles. His fall away drops in to tie it at 14.
And VCU's doing a good job with their initial defense, but they have to find a body and box out. The second chance opportunities will come back to bite you if you don't fix the issue.
Michael Bell sees his first action for VCU wearing number 8, guarded by Ibunwe. Djokovic trying to get the step on Mitchell.
Great defense by St. Bonaventure, keeping VCU out of the paint.
Shot clock at 5. Djokovic. And Bell is going to be called for the over the back.
Great defense, great half-court defense by St. Bonaventure there. VCU had multiple players trying to get into the paint, and the initial defense was outstanding, tremendous.
That's been a staple for Coach Smith since he's been at St. Bonaventure. Really good half-court defense.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's something you can show on film. That was great defense.
Both teams shooting the ball good in the first half. Bonnie's at 55%, VCU 50% from the field.
And this is a game of 2 teams with 2 different wills, 2 different styles of play. VCU wants to play in transition. St. Bonaventure wants to play half-court basketball.
Good help defense by Djokovic. Shot clock is at 2 for Mitchell over Jennings. No shot clock violation as VCU gained possession before it expired. Here's Jennings for 3. And the rebound swallowed by Simmons.
You can just hear the fans ready to erupt with that play right there.
12 and a half minutes in the first half. Game tied at 14. Conference opener. Inside is Charles, and he beats Djokovic to the punch.
And Djokovic has to see man and ball. You have to see both. That was an easy play to help out on, but he was a step late.
Here is Hill from straight away. Rebound tapped by Marshall for St. Bonaventure. As Hill struggling from the three-point line. He's missed his last 6 attempts. Mitchell inside. Offensive rebound for the Bonnies. Marshall, no. And Hill comes away with it. Nice move.
Absolutely. And tossed it away.
And here comes St. Bonaventure. Up ahead is Ibunwe, and he rocks the rim for 2.
Those are honestly the worst type of plays to watch as a fan of a team, to see them create a turnover or get an offensive rebound, be in that transition area where they can obviously make a play and they turn it over.
Djokovic in and out. St. Bonaventure out-rebounding VCU by 6 early on, and inside is Daryl Simmons scoring in the paint.
And right now, St. Bonaventure's defense, I got me stuttering over here. St. Bonaventure's defense and their physicality is giving VCU some trouble.
They're in the midst of an 8-0 run. Djokovic hits the floor, and Sean Hull calls the foul on St. Bonaventure. And we'll check to see if there's going to be a 2-shot foul and the condition of Lazar Djokovic when we come back as St. Bonaventure leads by 6. Well, Lazar Djokovic is in the huddle for VCU, but he was shaking off the effects of his fall on his right wrist. And it looks like he's going to be okay. Let's watch it again as he came down hard on it. But as of right now, Ed Nixon, he looks like he's going to be at least okay to shoot these free throws.
As he should be. He's a tough kid. He always ends up being in the wrong spot at the wrong time and find himself on the court, but he always makes it back out. I'll give him that.
The Serbian Savage playing in his 14th game this season, again back at the free throw line. As we mentioned, first on the team in makes and attempts from the stripe this season. Set a new Battle of Atlanta's record for most attempts from the line in one game, had 18. Woo.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
That's hard work.
In this season, shooting 72% from the line. He has made his first 4 from the stripe and has pulled VCU to within 4.
And for as much as he gets to the line, if he can up that percentage, that's going to add at least 3 points to his total, or to his average, I should say.
And make him a dangerous threat down the stretch in games.
Absolutely.
Here's Mitchell going up against Djokovic. Draws contact, and they're going to get it on Lazar.
And I wonder how long VCU is going to stick with just one-on-one play against Mitchell. Being that St. Bonaventure doesn't want to take a lot of threes, you might be able to go get a trap, make him give it up early and recover, force him into shots they're not comfortable taking.
Frank Mitchell. We mentioned his time at Minnesota. Coach mentioned to us yesterday he lost 30 pounds from his time there to where he is now. He also spent time at Canisius, where he was an all-MAC second-team selection. And the only player in the conference that season to average a double-double, where he is right now in the A-10. Only player in the A-10 to average a double-double. 16.6 points, nearly 11.5 rebounds a game this season. He made 1 of 2 for the Bonnies to be up 5.
Well, he's a physical specimen. He's hard to deal with no matter who you're guarding.
Entry pass to Djokovic. Goes glass and strong to the bucket is Lazar Djokovic now with 9.
And like I said earlier, Djokovic has the opportunity to really eat in this game. St. Bonaventure undermanned, missing a big, and Frank is a wide body, but he's not that tall, and they're switching on the screens. So VCU has to stay consistent and take advantage of the mismatch.
Daryl Simmons giving Coach Schmidt another scoring option now with 7. And the lead back to 5 for the Bonnies. Terrence Hill makes it a 2-point lead as he ends a 6-shot drought from 3.
But when you can shoot it like Terrence Hill, you got to keep shooting. The next one's going to go in.
He was 0 for 5 against Ryder. First time this year he had not made a 3 in a game. Djokovic clears the miss, and VCU a chance to tie or take the lead on a triple. Simmons with the assignment on Evans. Jennings on the move against Mitchell. Out of bounds. It'll stay. Check it. It will go to St. Bonaventure.
And that's what I want to see VCU do more of. Frank Mitchell has to be involved in ball screens. He has to guard. If he wants to put all this work in on the offensive end and grind VCU down low, make him work on the offensive end. Get him out here on these guards and see if he can defend.
Marshall looks inside. Pretty move to Caden Charles. And Charles with 6 so far for St. Bonaventure. Tracy inside. And they're going to get a whistle on the Bonnies.
And I must say, VCU is giving up a lot of easy attempts on the defensive end. I know Coach Martelli is not enjoying that. I'm pretty sure in the next timeout or halftime, he's going to speak to the guys, hey, we have to start accepting the challenge and guarding. And we're doing that initially, but we're falling asleep on the help side, and they're getting too many easy opportunities.
Michael Bell back in the lineup, replacing Djokovic as Evans looking to create. Found Hill for 3. Ring it up. Now that's 2 in a row made by Terrence Hill.
Mister, it don't matter. If your hands up, your hands down, it don't matter.
Team's leading scorer at just over 13 a night. Now with 6 early on. Inside 8.5 minutes. Bonnie's up by 1. The double comes. Mitchell fights through it and scores again.
That's a tough assignment for Michael Bell to do.
And another foul on the Bonnies. It's getting physical inside.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That like it was a need a knee or need a thigh. Either way, Terrence Hill is going to feel that in the morning.
And now a conversation between Sean Hall and Phil Martelli Jr. about, I guess, the post play of Frank Mitchell using some elbows.
That's the type of thing that happens in all post play, but you just got to match the physicality. It's as simple as that. When you get to the A-10 play, the officials are going to let the guys play a little bit more than they usually would, and you just got to match the physicality. What's the next step?
And if anybody knows about the physicality of A-10 play, it's the former Hawk, Phil Martelli Jr. From his time playing with his dad in Philly. You should know about the physicality, right?
Absolutely.
And brother Jimmy on the sideline as well.
It's a family affair.
A family affair. With a former Ram or Rams on the sideline, Brad Burgess and also Brandon Rozelle. They know about it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Brandon Rozelle, he was a coach at Penn State last year and actually got to play against Frank Mitchell when he was at Minnesota. So he's very familiar with his game.
Mm-hmm. We bring it all in full circle, folks. From different conferences, all to the A-10. Mitchell leaves it for Simmons and taken away by the Rams, who can take the lead on a made basket. The alley-oop.
Hey, now! Like I said before, Barry Evans' game never lied. He's the truth.
A live ball turnover that Coach Schmidt did not want to see. Let's see if that could be a grand slam for VCU.
And this is a scenario he talked about. They have to get a good look right here. They can't afford a turnover or a leak out.
Bowens attacks the rim and will get 2 free throws when we come back as Barry Evans continues to stay hot for VCU. 8 early on against his former team as VCU leads by 1. 28-27 behind Barry Evans with 8 points and being the elevator for the Rams this afternoon here at the Siegel Center.
Taking it to the upper room.
What did Jefferson say? We're going to the did I get it right? Was it good times moving on up?
Moving on up.
I was going to say, I almost forgot the lyric there. George and Wheezy, but it's Barry Evans moving on up. And it's not to the east side, it's to the it's to the fan district. How about that?
There we go.
DeShante Bowen at the line, averaging just under 9 points a game this season. The only team captain this season for Coach Schmidt, shooting 86% from the line for the Bonnies.
Don't want to put him on the line at the end of the game.
He's coming back
from knock it down.
Yeah, he's coming back from a broken foot. A season ago, limited him to just 9 games and became almost like another coach for Schmidt and his staff. Hill for 3. Another triple for Terrence Hill. That's 3 in a row after missing his first attempt.
It don't matter. Whether it's a layup, 30 feet out, it don't matter. It's a bucket.
shooting 44% from 3 this season, and VCU ahead by 2.
And what makes Terrence Hill so hard to guard, because even if you don't think he's going to take the shot, he's going to take the shot.
He's going to take the shot.
And he doesn't need a lot of time. But if you're overly aggressive, he leads the team in one opportunities when it comes to shooting a jumper too. So with his natural form, he kind of leans into a shot. So he's very difficult to guard.
He almost has another Reggie Miller type form. Kicks the leg out just a bit to try to create contact. More times than not, gets the benefit of the doubt. Look at Mitchell with the footwork against Djokovic with 2 fouls. Marshall trying to create against Hill. Stolen by Terrence. Hill off of the pick and roll. This worked by Lemoyne in the Bonnie's last game on December 20th. Here is Lewis. Gets his own miss. And a new 20 for VCU. Nice pass to Djokovic.
Hey, now! You just got joked. Put the kids to bed.
The Serbian Savage says, welcome to 2026.
Got me excited over here.
Mitchell will be called for the foul. I thought it was going to go against Frank Mitchell. It is against Frank Mitchell. That is official. As Djokovic putting an exclamation point on that last possession.
Look at, and this is what I'm saying. It's hard for them to match up with Djokovic. He's just too big and he's just too skilled.
Those are the type of plays that can start a big run for VCU.
Absolutely.
So now Sean Hall is at the scores table working with Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
With the sports replay.
That's my girl.
She's working hard over there, giving the officials the right replay to make sure they get the correct call.
I'll tell you what, I love.
And we were told it is a clock issue, so they reset it to 6:06 in the first half. And Djokovic completes the three-point play. We mentioned the fact he's been living at the line. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the stripe. And VCU up by 5 in the midst of a 6-0 run. This is their largest lead of the half.
And VCU's playing great offensively, taking what the defense gives them. But they have to shape up the defensive end if they want to have success tonight.
And that was a pretty two-man game by the Bonnies, resulting in Mitchell's 9th point of the half. Tracy had his taken away. Bowen trying to create some contact, and he'll score. Deshaunte Bowen now with 6, and the Bonnies are within 1.
Showing why he's the captain. When St. Bonaventure needs a play, they need to get a score, they need to quiet the crowd, Bowen has been the one to step up to the plate.
A foul on Mitchell, that's his 2nd, along with Djokovic, as we go back to the Bowen play.
And I love the physicality. The physicality in this game is wonderful. I can't stand when people act like basketball isn't a physical sport. It is very physical. It's not a car accident like football, but it's still a very physical, very
it's not tiddlywinks or anything like that, right?
Right.
And no disrespect to tiddlywinks. It's a very underrated kids game. 2 made free throws for Terrence. That'll bump his average up to over 90% on the season. He has missed only 4 from the line this year.
That's impressive.
Rams up by 3. Bowen tried to create something over Djokovic. Tracy up ahead to Bell. Nice catch. Doesn't finish. Gets his own miss inside and scores.
You can ring my... finish it off. I can't hit the
you're
note.
going back. I like that. It's a nice song to bring in the new year. Bell's first basket, a 5-point lead again for VCU as we're inside 5 minutes. Shot missed by the Bonnies. Here comes VCU.
Better job right there by St. Bonaventure, matching up in transition, but you got to find them.
Catch and shoot by Hill. Misses that one. He had made his last 3 from distance. Here comes Simmons, and he'll score with the left hand.
Great job by Mitchell there. He runs the rim very well and posts up. It's not just for him, but it gives opportunities for his guards to attack and get all the way to the cup like that.
We got some street ball out here as Tracy comes back on the other end. And here's his first shot from the field. Inside 4 minutes, and VCU has their largest lead now is 6. Air ball put up by Ibunwe, and he will hear it from the VCU fans with 3:50 to go in the half. The Rams with a 6-point lead over St. Bonaventure. Here is our Carter Catwalk fan cam here at the Siegel Center. There's a youngster enjoying first half action. A lot of people enjoying the first half action here at the Stew with VCU up 41-35. Wake up, fella.
It's an underrated workout that dads have. Carrying kids. I got 2 flights of steps.
I do too.
My daughter's 6. Hey, Kinsley.
Yeah.
When she's knocked out that dead weight, you got to carry up 2 flight steps. Man, I'd be huffing and puffing.
And then they want you on the shoulders.
Oh,
man.
Yep. I have my youngest Ezzy. I know I'm gonna have to do it again.
Body can break down doing stuff like that.
Got to be careful.
VCU with a little 2-man game as Djokovic goes inside and gets a chance at another 3-point play. As Lutnati gets called for the foul for St. Bonaventure.
Great job by VCU right here, the pick and roll, giving St. Bonaventure a little taste of their own medicine. And I'm telling you, I would run this consistently. There is a huge drop-off.
This gave the Bonnies trouble against Lemoyne in their last game. Lemoyne did a really good job of working that 2-man game and that pick-and-roll action. And at one point had a lead as large as 7 against the Bonnies in the game before eventually coming back and winning it. And VCU could do the same thing.
Absolutely. You know, getting Mitchell out of the paint, that alone is going to help VCU. But there's such a drop-off in height for St. Bonaventure. If the help side's removed, Lazar can eat all night.
He has 15 first-half points to lead all scorers. Under 10 to shoot for the Bonnies. Simmons with 2 to shoot against Bell. Scoop to the hoop. Second chance was a miss and a foul as Phil Martelli Jr. not liking that call at all.
Neither is the Ramley. Let's see where the foul came in.
They called it on Lewis.
Ooh. I mean, with how the game has been officiated thus far, I can understand the disappointment as a VCU Ram.
Martelli shows some indication to check the replay. Can't do that here in this situation, Coach. Grahovic makes both free throws. The sophomore from Santa Ana, California, pulls the Bonnies to within 7 as we're inside 3 minutes.
I thought that was the White Mamba walking into the building.
Oh,
I said, Scalabrini?
Wow. He does look a little bit like him, though. Here is Hill. Nice pass to Djokovic. Great hands there by Lutnati.
Absolutely, great defense. Like I said, St. Bonaventure, they have an MO, and they're sticking to it. They are a very stingy defense. However, VCU still being able to put 44 points up in the first half is impressive. Only
VCU's 3rd turnover in this half. Lonati inside, goes against 3 Rams and goes glass for the bucket.
Nice finish over the top of the defense there.
5-point VCU lead as we're coming up on 2 minutes. Nick Lewis, 3-time A-10 Rookie of the Week. Can't finish. Grahovic, a rebound for St. Bonaventure.
And this is what St. Bonaventure does very, very well. They don't overhelp. They play good man-to-man defense and force the offense to score over high hands. And you couldn't draw it up any better.
Terrence Hill is called for his first foul, and they said the action was on the pass. So the Bonnies will inbound it. That's only VCU's 16th foul, so last foul to give for the Rams with 1:46 to go in the half. They look to Mitchell against Djokovic with 2 fouls. And there's that footwork that Coach Smith was talking about.
Woo. You don't know if it was a travel or not, but it looked pretty.
And it results in his 11th point. Here's Evans in the lane.
And again, you got to finish over the top when you're playing St. Bonaventure.
Bonnie's with a chance to tie it with a 3, and Mitchell draws a foul on Bell. His second.
Questionable call. However, you have to give Mitchell credit. What he is doing right now is running rim to rim. This is what you ask all your bigs to do. Run rim to rim, post up, demand the ball, and that's what he's doing. He's having success.
Let's see if that was a travel.
Now, that looked pretty clean.
That looked clean?
It looked clean. I mean, the foot may have slid a little bit, but it looked pretty clean to me.
Well, Coach Schmidt was very complimentary on Mitchell's footwork and how it improved in the offseason. And it showed off there as he makes both. It's a 8-0 run for the Bonnies to get to within 1 over the last 1 minute and 47 seconds.
And the game is filled with runs. But St. Bonaventure, they're always going to be in the game because they hang their hat on the defensive end.
VCU has not scored a point in almost 2.5 minutes. Djokovic is calling for it inside. Grahovic tried to face guard him in the post.
And that's what you have to do. When you can't handle somebody, you have to.
Tracy with the step in the basket.
Good attack by Tracy. With Djokovic posting up as hard as he is, you know, is going to give opportunity. Just like I said about St. Bonaventure and Mitchell doing it earlier.
30-second timeout by the Bonnies. They're use it or lose it timeout.
As you see here, Djokovic engaging the defender opens up that lane for Tracy to get all the way to the cup. Mitchell did the same thing in transition.
Hey, we were talking about this earlier in the season. Djokovic getting off early helps out everybody else.
Absolutely. I think the most successful teams play inside out. If you stick around the perimeter, like everybody's not going to be Golden State.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have elite, not just good. You have to have elite shooting to win like that. But when you have somebody inside that you can throw it into, that can get you 2 points, that can make the defense have to take a step back, opening up opportunities for your shooters, it's proof in the pudding. Look at 2011. We had Jamie Skeen giving everybody work. Shout out to Skeen. He gave everybody work.
That's your obligatory Jamie Skeen shout out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the Bonnies are down 3 with under a minute to go. A chance to tie if they can hit one from distance. Don't appear as if they'll go 2 for 1 on this set. Ibunaway goes inside with a tough finish. A 1-point VCU lead. And now Coach Martelli Jr. will use his 30-second timeout with 21.4 seconds to go. Pretty move by Daniel Ibunyawe, his third different team, coming from Little Rock and Tennessee Tech, scoring for the Bonnies to get to within one.
Absolutely. Very athletic move. Getting all the way into the paint. A little dipsy-do. Didn't even look at the rim. Put a little English on there.
Yeah.
A little English muffin on there.
Sounds nice good right about now. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field in the half. Bonnie's 58%, 18 of 31. VCU 16 of 31 at 52%. For both coaches that love to defend.
Both are upset right now.
I would say so.
Everybody will go back into the half and be completely upset. And it can get a little scary because you never know how this is going to continue. Whose defensive will is going to break first? St. Bonaventure, they have good half-court defense, but can they continue to play this good brand of offense that doesn't allow VCU to get in transition, because that's where VCU is deadly?
And then the post players, Mitchell and Djokovic, both with 2 fouls. Who makes the adjustments with the officiating to stay in the game down the stretch?
Absolutely. Now, I think VCU has a better opportunity to have some success.
Here's
Good
Tracy,
pass.
gets it off, rimmed out before the buzzer. That shot would not have counted, and the first half comes to a close as the Bonnies made their last 3 shots, ended the half on a 10-2 run to be within 1 as we go into the break, 46-45. TJ will have halftime activities from the Siegel Center. Barry Evans with 8, but it's Djokovic with 15 leading the way as VCU up 1 at the break. We have here at the Siegel Center, Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, our entire Rams Unlimited crew. Want to wish you and yours a happy and healthy 2026 as we are winding down 2025. Also want to say Happy New Year to Sean Hall, the lead official here this afternoon. Almost was going to say this evening, but it's still 3:07 East Coast time.
Right.
1 point lead for VCU as we're about to start the half. What do you want to see from both teams?
Okay, so for St. Bonaventure, I want to see more of the same. Keep VCU out of the paint. They did it periodically, but they need to sustain that for the second half. Keep VCU out of the paint. Be patient. Run the offense through Mitchell. Now, it's similar for VCU. I want them to run the offense through Djokovic. The offensive sets have been working. However, I want to see VCU do better on defense and getting out in transition.
First shot by Tracy to begin the half went over the backboard, so the Bonnies will begin the half with a chance to take the lead again. VCU led by as many as 9 in the first half. The Bonnies led by as many as 7 early on.
Back and forth game. I didn't really like that shot from Tracy. I want to see the offense move a little bit first before you just come out and take a one-pass 3.
Mitchell led St. Bonaventure with 13. Djokovic led all scorers with 15. Mitchell with the baby hook. And a tie-up between Evans and Bowen. The arrow favors the Bonnies.
Also for VCU, I want to see them, even though St. Bonaventure only had 4 offensive rebounds in that half, they're attacking aggressively. I want to see VCU do a better job of boxing out and getting clean rebounds. Therefore, they can lead to their transition offense as well.
Interesting stat, when VCU leads at the break, they're 9-1 this season.
Scalabrine
with the miss. Lewis claims the loose ball. He'll wait for help. Bonnies are 3-2 when going into the half, trailing, as they were in this case. They look to Djokovic on the switch. Here's Brandon Jennings with the easy 2.
Again, post-entry, the double team came. Easy layup for Brandon Jennings. Great cut by him as well.
First basket of the afternoon for the sophomore from here in Richmond. Simmons for 3. Ring it up.
Laced it.
An even dozen for Darrell Simmons to tie it at 48. Came in 13th in the A-10 in scoring this season.
And with a guy that can score like that, you just don't want to give him open threes. You got to fight through those screens.
Mitchell claims his 4th rebound off the Lewis miss. Bonnie's basket gives them the lead. Mitchell against Djokovic. And Jennings with the rebound. And last touch by Mitchell.
But again, you see how VCU is struggling to get clean rebounds? Like, if he gets that clean, they can get out in transition. Bonaventure can't set their half-court defense up. But Bonaventure just being able to get their hand in there, making VCU face this half-court defense consistently, that's a recipe for a victory. That rhyme.
I like that. Well, you're the freestyler. The governor who can freestyle. Here's Tracy. Nice move on Charles to get the basket.
Yeah, that was smooth. We've seen a lot of footwork this game.
For both teams. They've been in the lab working.
Absolutely. I'd love to see it.
VCU back in front by 2. Simmons looks for Charles against Evans. Back tap, saved by Lewis. And Coach Schmidt didn't like that at all.
I get tickled when I see coaches get upset. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Here's Djokovic. The Serbian Savage coming through again.
21 Savage.
17 for Djokovic. Here's Mitchell. And Lewis claims the miss.
Clean rebound.
He's got numbers 2-on-1. Here's Jennings. And Coach Schmidt gets a timeout.
And that's what you want to see if you're VCU. You want to make St. Bonaventure call that first timeout and set the tone for the game.
Clean rebound results in an easy basket. But going back, it's Djokovic. I got my eye on you. And VCU's up by 6. To our Virginia Credit Union assists of the game, Lewis to Brandon Jennings for the basket. Virginia Credit Union assists benefiting the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU. And you mentioned clean rebounds can translate to easy baskets for VCU.
Absolutely. St. Bonaventure already undermanned. They want to keep the pace of the game slow. VCU wants to push the pace. Clean rebounds, that assures that the pace can be pressed because VCU has multiple guys that can get the ball and just go. Evidence in that last play leading to 2 easy points.
Bonnies are without 3 players to include Ilya Yermakov, the freshman from out of Russia, as Charles had his shot blocked, and then a foul is called against Barry Evans as Phil Martelli is not liking that call on the transfer from Bryant by way of St. Bonaventure.
Again, that technically, if we want to be technical, that's a foul. But the way they've been calling the game, you just want to see the guys be physical and play the game. That's why I like the WNBA. Shout out to the WNBA. The WNBA, they fight. They fight on the court.
They do.
And the physicality of the game is wonderful to watch. I don't like all this, oh, you touched me, I got to bait for fouls. And all. Play the game honestly.
Too much flopping we see a lot.
Too much flopping, trying to get calls, all this nonsense. Play the game honestly with some morals. You know what I mean? I'm off my soapbox.
Well, there you go. That comes from the 2011 Final Four member, Ed Nixon. 16 minutes left in the game as Tracy's three-pointer went in and out. Bonnie's looking to run down by 4. Here is Bowen against Djokovic and uses the right hand.
Now, I don't mind either one, but I think if the offensive player is allowed to put his arm on you to create space to get the finish off, I should be able to put my arm on him to block the shot. I'll just leave it at that.
Like that. As Jennings draws a foul. And that brings us to the under 16 timeout. BJ will go to the line when we come back as VCU leads by 2 in the A-10 conference opener for both teams. 15:35 left in regulation. The Peppers bringing in the new year the right way, as only the Peppers can do here at a sold-out Siegel Center. Last game of 2025. Conference play, Ed Nixon. It boils over from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where it gets muddy. This is where it gets muddy. And you got to take care of these games now because they start to add up. If you let one slip, you know that could set the difference of where you get placed in the tournament, who you have to face.
We talked about the non-conference schedule for VCU, having opportunities for quad 1 and quad 2 games. I think last check, VCU will have 8 opportunities against quad 1 or quad 2 games in conference before the tournament. Mm-hmm. And in non-conference, they were only 2 and 4. So they'll get those those get-back opportunities.
Absolutely.
Moving forward. Ooh, 1 or 2. Lane violation on St. Bonaventure. And a second chance for Brandon Jennings. And Coach Smith near midcourt ain't liking that either.
Watch your big toe.
Was going to mention the proficiency for Brandon Jennings at the line, so I now can say it. 9th best in the A-10 and percentage at 88%. It's a 4-point lead for VCU as they've led by as many as 9.
And it almost feels like VCU should be up more than just 4.
Well, it's a credit to Coach Smith in this and that defense, especially in the half court. Bowen brings it to within a 1-point affair.
Now, St. Bonaventure has ran the same play the last 3 offensive possessions. They're coming off a curl. And what VCU is doing, they're trying to help from the top guard when in actuality they should have some curl take from Djokovic. And St. Bonaventure is just going to wear it out until it doesn't work anymore.
Here's Djokovic inside. Last touch by the Bonnies. VCU will have 10 to shoot. You make an interesting point. If you run it that many times and it's been successful, why go away from it, right?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And now Sean Hull will go to the replay monitor where Nikki is awaiting the officials to, I believe, either see if it was last touch or if this is a coach's challenge.
And I believe it is a coach's challenge. I've seen the finger waving around.
Now, that is a new rule in college basketball. We talked about it a lot in the non-conference schedule. Coaches now have 1 up to, now 2 coaches challenge. If the first is successful, they can get a second challenge. If not, the team will lose a timeout. And they said it was last touch by the Bonnies. From that angle, it's tough to tell if it went off of Djokovic last. All 3 officials, Sean Hall, Evan Burrows, and Mike Maloney, are looking at the replay monitor to see if this play is going to be overturned, and will St. Bonaventure get a second coach's challenge.
It looked pretty close. You see it goes off, but I'm not sure who that goes off of. It doesn't hit Djokovic's leg before it bounces out of bounds.
And just like in the NFL, it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call. And on the floor is VCU's possession. They said it was last touch by the Bonnies. So this could be a big one, especially for St. Bonaventure, who has 2 timeouts left. If they lose this challenge, it will leave them with 1, the final 14-48.
Now, the scary part about that, if they lose this timeout, VCU has the ability to go on these runs. You don't want to burn your last timeout.
That's true.
On a VCU run either.
And we're going to get an explanation from one of the officials. You Might have heard it from our mic that St. Bonaventure got a successful coach's challenge. Replay showed it went off of Djokovic. They keep the challenge and can use another one in the later stages of this half. And they might have said off the left thigh right there. They said it went off of Djokovic. So they keep their timeout and they keep their coach's challenge. So a big turn of events here for St. Bonaventure and a chance to take the lead on this possession.
Yeah, I want to see St. Bonaventure take advantage of that. Good play. Good action. Oh!
And Mitchell gets the offensive rebound and score. And he gave a point to one of our donors here at courtside.
That one's for you, baby.
Mitchell with 15, and St. Bonaventure has come back to take a 1-point lead.
I don't know if that was meant to be a pass, but it worked out.
Tracy. Offensive rebound. Djokovic, and he'll score over Mitchell. Going up court. Charles can't finish. Jennings the rebound. Here's Jennings with the blow-by. And he draws a foul, and that might be on Mitchell.
Shifty move right there by Brandon Jennings.
Sean Hull was dangerously close to giving Coach Martelli Jr. a tech. He blew the whistle, but he did not complete the T action.
Temperatures rising.
Who is that somewhere in the distance singing that? Jennings at the line. I don't think I've seen that by an official in a game. He blew the whistle to say, I'm about to give you a T, but he didn't complete the T process. I'm going to have to ask Sean Hull during our next break. But
biting his lip. Ooh, ooh.
He was close. He looked at him, and Coach was like, am I going to get it? And Sean Hull said, that's your last warning. That's it. 3-point VCU lead as we're under 14 minutes left in regulation.
And I get it. I mean, I get it. You know, each game, each possession is so important.
Mitchell just bullied his way inside. A chance for three. Djokovic is called for his third.
And good move right here. He just. Ooh, I love the move. I'm not necessarily a fan of the call. This is a physical game. We gotta let the guys play.
I mean, if anything, he initiated the contact, right?
He initiated everything.
Unless I saw that wrong.
It was, I mean,
the first bump created the contact, created the space.
And then he got more contact after that. So
wow.
I love it. But
Evans for the lead comes up short.
Shot a dart at the rim.
Tied is 60 as we're coming up on 13 minutes left in regulation. And conference opener for both.
And we discussed in the break. What'd you say about VCU in 10 points?
When the margin is less than 10, VCU is winless this year, as it was last touched by VCU.
And that's an incredible stat. VCU has to prove that they can close out close games, because that's what it's going to be. You just talked about having 8 opportunities at quad 1, quad 2 games in conference. That means you're going to have some close games. That means you're going to have to do the small things to ensure your victories. Games
are 10 points or less. They lost to Utah State by 3, NC State by 6, New Mexico by 3.
Now, the cheap way to look at that is, oh, these teams are really good. However, you have to look at yourself. What can I do better to close these games out? I believe VCU had an opportunity to win all 4 of the games outside of, well, all 3 outside of Vanderbilt.
Absolutely. Simmons just gave the Bonnies the lead, and then I think Hill became, I was going to say they did get the foul on Bowen. Now the question was that a shooting foul or not, and they're going to say it's going to be a baseline out of bounds. A couple of the assistant coaches for VCU was wanting a challenge And I really didn't know why, unless they thought maybe it was a shooting foul, but they couldn't challenge that act at this point in the game. Evans with 8 points, scored all in the first half. Here is Hill. Off the heel of the rim, great play by Jennings, and Evans couldn't save it.
And this is where VCU is going to have to buckle down. You had the momentum. Now St. Bonaventure went on their run, and they fought through some adversity. Can VCU do the same?
This game has gone back and forth. We have had 6 ties and 10 lead changes in this game.
I love it.
It's A-10 basketball out here, folks. Simmons for 3, and the rebound to Tracy. Rams can tie it or take the lead with a 3. Here's Hill drawing contact. They're going to say the foul was on the floor, not in the act of shooting.
Well, I'm curious because they're due to continuation now. So
that's also a new rule, but the official said that happened on the floor. Timeout here at the Siegel Center with St. Bonaventure leading by 2.
Do you want 2 great seats to a
Siegel
VCU?
Center is rocking here on New Year's Eve. The Rams and Bonnies in a good one here at the Stew. 6 ties, 10 lead changes. And right now the Bonnies have a 2-point lead, but the VCU Rams, Ed Nixon, a chance to tie or take the lead again.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what college sports is about. Back and forth, fight. You put all that time and all that hard work and bloodshed and tears for moments and games like this so you can face adversity and see who can come out on top. You got to love it.
15 teams with the same goal to be in Pittsburgh and hoist that trophy, signifying you're the best in the Atlantic 10. Bell, yeah, absolutely. Pittsburgh, PA this year, conference tournament. Here is Hill with the step and the layup.
It don't matter. I'm trying to tell you, he's one of the best scorers in the A-10. If he was on a team averaging 30 minutes, he would probably average around 18, 20 points a game.
I would agree with that. Currently, he is 16th in the conference, and scoring leads the team at just over 13 a night. Remember, Mitchell and Djokovic each with 3 fouls in the game. Here is Bowen from the elbow. Long rebound to Charles. Simmons for 3. And another knockdown from distance from Daryl Simmons, the junior from out of Detroit.
Absolutely. VCU has to corral that rebound.
Tracy splits the defense and scores.
Both teams having their struggles right now. Or having their way. However you like it.
Glass half full. They're having their way. Tracy with 9. It's a 1-point Bonnie's lead.
Good move.
Simmons uses a crossover. Here's Mitchell against Djokovic. And he's called for a travel. And it looked like Djokovic got hit in the face. And they will check that.
Wow.
They will check that. They will go to the monitor to check to see if that move by Mitchell is what they would call an aggressive play offensively above the neck area. That's the second time Djokovic has got hit hard. Remember earlier in the first half, he got hit on the side of the head. Watch that elbow. What do you think, Ed?
I don't know. Continue to play. Basketball's physical. I mean, with these rules, I'm not really quite sure.
Now, the letter of the law may have been a little high.
It could have been a little bit high. Let's see. That kind of just was like his. I'm not one for doing a lot of hook shots in my day.
It's his off arm.
It's off arm.
To try to initiate.
It can be called a flagrant one. It can be. Do I think it should be? Probably not.
Well, it was a quick review, and now the conference This will be a big because if it's a flagrant one, that will be a fourth foul on Mitchell at this point in the game.
Oh, I see the point.
Here we go. It is not going to be called a flagrant. They call it a normal move by Frank Mitchell.
And like I said, I don't think it should have been called anything. But I've seen wilder things, I should say.
I've seen less
Yeah,
that was called flagrant.
Absolutely.
But the leash was extended for Mitchell on that play. So he remains with 3. VCU down by 1. A chance to take the lead on this possession. Djokovic was calling for it. Great play by Mitchell with the deflection.
Elementary basketball. Make the
Simmons,
pass.
a long 2, and he's heating up for St. Bonaventure.
You got to be able to get the right angle. Don't force it in there just because he has his hands up. However, great hands by Mitchell. And when you turn it over, St. Bonaventure made you pay.
Here's Djokovic. One more time, the sledgehammer dropped by the Serbian Savage.
He is throwing it down like a grandma in the kitchen.
During the holiday season.
Neck bones. Collard greens.
Black-eyed peas.
Of course, and the yams.
Here is Charles. Out to Mitchell. Too strong.
Oh, yeah.
By Frank Mitchell, now with 20. And a foul on the other end as they're going to get Grahovic with his second.
I'm talking about 2 impressive back-to-back plays by the players to watch. Djokovic splitting the seal biblically and dunking the ball. And then you got Frank Mitchell down there to say, hey, little baby, nice hook shot.
Man, just a soft touch around the rim. It's nice. Here is Evans. Oh, he's called for travel. Wave it off. It was an extra hop.
That was the Cupid shuffle right there.
And now we've got a stoppage of play.
And I know the Ramley is upset, but that is the right call. He did shuffle his feet.
And didn't necessarily need to do it.
He got too excited. Yep, got too excited. He wanted to dunk that.
Only VCU's 6th turnover of the game. St. Bonaventure has taken care of the ball. They've only committed 5 turnovers. Here's Mitchell inside, rocking the rim.
And Djokovic, that is false hustle. I don't care. Coach doesn't care. The fans don't care if you get scored on. But to build your teammate, to leave your teammate out to hang like that is unacceptable.
Evans has called for his 2nd consecutive travel. And here comes the Bonnies trying to take advantage on the slight hesitation by VCU defensively as they're up 5 as we're inside 8.5 minutes.
Nobody likes to get beat up, but when you're playing somebody like that, you're gonna get beat up. You got to continue to fight. And right now, St. Bonaventure is showing their toughness and their grittiness and imposing their will on VCU.
And Mitchell and Simmons taking over in the second half for the Bonnies as they lead by 7. But the Serbian Savage with an emphatic slam as VCU trails by 7. 4th drive of the game, and it's the Serbian Savage.
That's a mean punch right there.
It was.
That's a mean punch right there.
The nice ball fake. Taking it strong to the basket. 21 points for Djokovic, leading the way. Terrence Hill has 15. And Tracy with 9. Evans and Jennings with 8. But the balanced attack for St. Bonaventure leading the way. Frank Mitchell, another double-digit scoring output. 43rd career game in which he scored in double figures. 24 to lead all scorers. And Simmons with 19 on the afternoon, and Bowen with 11. So they have 54 of the 73 St. Bonaventure points.
And Mitchell has just been impressive. And, I mean, he's been relentless as well.
Lewis on the drive and a chance at 3.
And that's why he's won 3 freshman or rookie of the weeks. He's just a super talented, strong physically and mentally guard that just consistently makes plays for VCU down the stretch.
Only his second made field goal of the game, as you mentioned, 3-time A-10 rookie of the week. The freshman, the true freshman from out of D.C., went to Gonzaga High School, completes the three-point play. Charles whistled for his 3rd foul. It's a 4-point St. Bonaventure lead.
Now I want to see VCU play smart basketball right here.
Coming up on 7.5 to go in the game.
And if I'm St. Bonaventure, I'm definitely going back to Mitchell.
It's a switch with Bell having the assignment on the potential all-conference performer. A foul on VCU.
A smart drive right there by Charles, getting to the paint. Like I said, Mitchell is such a physical body. Now he's starting to have gravity where nobody wants to leave him. But that's what happens when you put in that work.
Inside out.
Inside out.
I think I've heard that a lot from you and other former players for VCU. It's not rocket science.
It's not.
Basketball is not rocket science.
But people make it that way once adversity hits. Something doesn't go your way. Somebody's out physicaling you. Somebody's out thinking you. Then it becomes rocket science because you're trying to find a way out of it. Keep it simple.
For most of the non-conference season, Coach Martelli had used up to 10 or 11 players on a regular. This afternoon, he's only gone with 7. Now, he did mention at the start of the season, hey, at Bryant, it was 8 or 9. He said, we have the benefit of going deeper off the bench. Only 7 guys have seen action this afternoon. They look to Djokovic against Mitchell. Hill gets to step on Charles, and he'll score. And that was good action by VCU.
Absolutely. Again, inside-out play.
Again, the lead is at 4. Nice cut by Charles, and he goes glass for 2.
Smart basketball there by St. Bonaventure.
Points in the paint picking up for St. Bonaventure this afternoon.
It's been a battle all game, points in the paint. Both teams unwilling to give up.
Lewis from the corner, in and out on the 3. Mitchell with his 6th rebound. Coming up on 6 minutes to go, and the Bonnies have a 6-point lead.
St. Bonaventure keep Mitchell into action. And see, right there, you have to do your work early. Now, good ball pressure by Brandon Jennings right there to make it a hard pass.
Good defense by VCU. Coach Schmidt wanted a foul, didn't get it. VCU can be within 4 or 3.
Smart decision by Djokovic to pull it back out.
Turnaround, tickles in.
And again, they need to get back to what they were doing in the first half. Get Mitchell in the ball screen, get the switch, take advantage of the mismatch.
Crowd getting involved as Bowen comes up with the miss. Up ahead, Evans catches up.
No travel this time.
No travel this time. He said, that ain't going to happen a 3rd time to me. Money time here at the Siegel Center.
Absolutely. As the crowd starts to get into it, now we got to see St. Bonaventure if they have some mental toughness.
Simmons against Jennings. Simmons with the fall away. And a foul against VCU. They're going to call it on Djokovic, and that will be his 4th. First player for either team in the danger zone.
And I'm telling you, man, Mitchell has been so physical. I said at the beginning of the broadcast, he's a physical player, but he's been so physical, and he's trying to take the will out of Djokovic. Every time he comes down on the offense end, Djokovic is going to feel him.
But look at the position he got. Coach Schmidt talked about how he always gets big rebounds for the Bonnies.
Absolutely.
And he came up with a big play to keep possession.
And when you're guarding a player like Mitchell, you have to do your work early. If you allow him to just walk it down and get where he wants to, you're going to be in trouble and have a long night.
Simmons looking for Mitchell. Shot clock's under 10. Switch by Evans on Bowen. Shot clock's at 1. Shot clock violation.
And that's the response that VCU wanted. And this crowd is getting rowdy.
I don't think it's been this loud since opening night.
All right.
And the students are not here. They're still on break. And this was something that Coach Schmidt was weary of.
Absolutely.
Getting the crowd, that 6-man involved in a made basket here for VCU, can tie it or take the lead. Djokovic had a mismatch inside. Ball deflected, recovered by Jennings, and a foul on St. Bonaventure. Ibunyue is whistled for his 4th.
Oof.
And that's the 17th foul on the Bonnies, and free throws for VCU when we come back. A good one here at the Stew. Barry Evans brings VCU to within 2 when we come back. The Fishing Pig is proud to sponsor the VCU Peppers. From savory barbecue to delicious seafood, they're bringing the flavor while the Peppers bring the energy, because nobody parties like the pig, the Fishing Pig.
The Fishing Pig.
Hopefully, sometime this year, they can provide the media.
Yeah, I mean,
so this is our last broadcast.
I do love the media now, but as long as they take care of us.
That's all I ask.
But I don't know if you can see me on the TV right now, but I am smiling ear to ear because I love good bump. This is a good bump. This is a great game to watch. Great game to be a part of.
Brandon Jennings, front end of a 1-and-1. Did not mention what VCU has done at the line. I will talk about it after the second attempt. Jennings with 9 in the game.
Gets all quiet.
Like church. Like New Year's Eve service church.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 10. We're tied at 77 with under 4 to go.
This is what it's about. This is what it's about.
Simmons looking again for Mitchell. Charles has it and lost it out of bounds to VCU.
Great defensive stance by VCU. I saw what St. Bonaventure was trying to do. They were attempting to get Mitchell in the paint all by himself, go one-on-one against Lazar Djokovic, who has 4 fouls. So they're going to have to pay very close attention to that. But great defensive stand by VCU.
Rams on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Who gets the touch on this possession for VCU? Hill from the mid-post. And the rebound to St. Bonaventure.
Good look, a rare mid-range for Terrence Hill.
Yeah. Coming up on 3 to go. They went away from the pick and roll action, and they looked to Mitchell on the baseline. The spin on Djokovic. The tip no good. Another chance that is blocked away by Jennings. Saved by VCU.
Brandon Jennings. What a gem. What a stud.
Here's Jennings trying to get the step. And he's fouled.
What a stud. This kid is a stud. He just does everything on the court. There's not one thing that Brandon Jennings doesn't do on the court.
And he booted away, picked up his 5th foul, and he's gone.
Bow. Give me that. If we was on the court, I would have cut.
You probably would have.
I would have cut.
And a point. Now remember, St. Bonaventure, again, shorthanded this afternoon. They're missing 3 players, all due to injury, and all have played significant minutes. Or 2 of the 3 have played extensive minutes. Now Coach Schmidt deep in his bench. They're going to bring in Grahovic to replace Ibunyue.
Man, what looked like to be for sure 2 points cleaned up by Brandon Jennings, and he finds his way to the free throw line.
He did this since his freshman year.
You cannot say too many words to describe the type of player that Brandon Jennings is. Excuse me.
A preseason all A-10 defensive team selection. After a great freshman year in which he was able to carve his own niche against some pretty good backcourt players to be a part of an A-10 championship team and reach the NCAA tournament. That free throw has just given the Rams the lead on a 7-0 run. It is the 11th lead change this afternoon.
And calmly and confidently, Brandon Jennings knocked down 2 free throws.
The Rams are 18 of 19 from the free throw line this afternoon and lead by 2.
Look at the defense.
Bowens looked for Mitchell. Mitchell inside. Simmons tries to split the double. Grahovic looks inside to Charles.
And that's 5 on Djokovic.
You got that right. Check it, it's only his 4th foul. So a break for the Rams. We had him for 4 before that foul. And Charles at the line, team's 3rd leading scorer at just under 12 points a game. Had a great career at Division II North Georgia. He was named MVP of the Division II Southeast Regional as North Georgia went to the Elite 8.
The one thing I love about the NIL, and I have to say this, I know he's about to shoot this free throw. It truly allows players to get it out the mud. It doesn't matter where you are, the talent's going to speak for itself.
Our 9th tie of the game as we're at the 2-minute mark of regulation, tied at 79. And another foul on St. Bonaventure and free throws for VCU as Bowen just picked up his 3rd.
Smart play by Brandon Jennings, but most importantly, aggressive play. If you're going to be in foul trouble, we're going to be in the penalty, I'm going to put the pressure on the officials to make the call.
We talked about, in fact, that was one of your keys to the game coming in to this afternoon's ball game, the amount of free throws attempted by the Rams this season. They are 27th in the country in attempts at the line, 26.5 per game. They're at 20 on that attempt. It'll be 21 coming up. But they live at the free throw line.
They live at the free throw line. They have so many talented players that can really put pressure on the rim.
One more for BJ. Makes both. They're 32nd in the country in made free throw attempts. Jennings, 10 for 10 this afternoon from the stripe.
Love to see it.
Simmons against Jennings.
We got to be careful with that. This is where it comes in, the communication.
Here's the pick and roll action.
Ooh,
Simmons kept that pivot foot down with 1 to shoot. They don't get it off.
He was sliding right there. That was a slip and slide. And great way to respond by VCU. That type of defense wins you games. Can you consistently do that down the stretch? We will find out in this next minute and 29 seconds.
Remember, if the games are 10 points or less, VCU this year 0-3. Mind you, the competition, top quality non-conference. They lost to Utah State by 3, NC State by 6, and a 3-point home loss to New Mexico.
Have they learned from it?
Inside 90 seconds. Here is Jennings against Bowen. Draws contact and a chance at a 3-point play.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, he's a grown man. He's a grown man.
Ed Nixon thought he had his jersey on.
Oh, my goodness. That's...
Brandon Jennings taking over late for VCU.
And this is what I said. I said this early in the season. Brandon Jennings has all of the qualities that VCU needs to be the guy. You know, that the guy doesn't necessarily mean that you score X amount of points. But when it comes down to clutch time, you have to have a guy. And Brandon Jennings is slowly putting that foot in that slipper to be that guy.
Brandon Jennings just achieved a new career high in points, now with 17. He scored 15 opening night against Wagner. He's got 17 now. One minute to go in regulation. Here's Bowen. It's called for a travel.
Nick Lewis was harassing Bowen all up the court.
I believe St. Bonaventure called a timeout with 57.8 seconds to go. Also, a new career high for Lazar Djokovic. He also scored 21 against Wagner earlier this season. He's got 23 this afternoon, a new career high for him.
Salute to Djokovic. But you know what defense does to me. Defense.
You've been calling for it all second half.
Oh my! It sends a chill up my spine when I see. I love it. I love it because it's me versus you. How are you gonna act? I love to see guys accept the challenge. Accept the challenge. Good job by Nick Lewis.
One other interesting stat that we probably pay attention to the rest of the conference season. VCU, when they've scored more than 80 points this year, they're 7-0. They've got 84 right now. When they've allowed more than 80 points this year, they're 1-4. They've allowed 79 so far.
This may be an anomaly. We'll
Just
see.
saying. When conference play begins, the key number may be 80 for VCU this year, for and against the Rams. Now, if you're Coach Smith, do you tell your guys to foul up 5, down 5 with under a minute to go, or do you try to let it play out?
Not just yet.
And a quick foul in the backcourt. Frank Mitchell was agreeing with you not to foul that early.
Yeah, you don't want to foul it early. I think you could have played aggressive defense. Maybe you get a turnover.
Bowen just became the second Bonnie to foul out.
You know what I used to love? When someone fouled out the game in the fans, and this is for any college arena, not specifically the VCU, but when the players walking back to the bench, left, right, sit down. I used to love that.
My many years shooting on that baseline, I have not heard them say left, right, sit. Wow, okay. I've heard sit down.
That. Yeah.
But I never heard them say left, right. Wow. Okay. That's something new. That's something I heard the sit down, but I never heard them actually saying left, right, sit down.
Now, if VCU is able to hang on to this lead and pull out this victory, I will say this. This is a character-building win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got thrown into the fire. You come up short so many times. But to now see it through and get all the way to a victory would be wonderful for VCU.
First miss for Brandon Jennings. As soon as I saw the release, I thought it was going to be a little strong.
Sometimes you got to get it out your system. The pressure of being perfect.
He had made his first 11 from the line this afternoon. That one looks pure. Still 12 of 13 from the strike.
I'll take it.
It's a 6-point lead, 2 possessions for VCU as we're inside a minute.
You don't necessarily need a 3 just yet.
Simmons with the floater, and Lewis yanks it down. He had Evans leaking ahead. He'll wait for help.
Lewis with the flotation device to get that rebound.
And they send it right back to the sophomore, back to the line. But how about Lewis on a pogo stick, grabbing that rebound? Leading all VCU players with 7 boards this afternoon. Tied for the game high. Mitchell also has 7. So he's right there with the leading rebounder in the A-10.
I'll say this. That is something that's very low-key about his game. He finds his way to get boards.
Yeah.
If you were actually go back and watch the film, even if he only finishes with 4, he finds his way to get key rebounds. Great. That's a great little nugget to have, or a great tool to have in your toolbox for Nick Lewis.
12th best in the A-10 in offensive rebounds is the freshman Nick Lewis. But that was a big defensive board for VCU to make that a 3-possession lead with inside a half minute. And a turnover by St. Bonaventure. And that might have put a cherry on this Sunday.
That might just do it. And if it is, St. Bonaventure came in here and played an outstanding, tremendous game.
If we had told Coach Smith before the game, you're only going to commit 10 turnovers, and your best player is going to have 24 and 7, he would take that.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't? Who
and without 3 key players.
Without 3. Come on now. St. Bonaventure came here regardless. VCU is they're gonna keep the eye on when they have to go and play St. Bonaventure away. They're gonna have an eye on that game.
And with the quirk in the conference schedule, with 15 teams in the conference, they don't have to go to New York this year. This is the only meeting between the Bonnies and the Rams.
Oh, so this one's gonna hurt for St.
Unless
Bonaventure.
they meet in the tournament, but it's the only regular season meeting, which is rare. This is normally a home and home. The Rams would have to go to Olean, but they won't go to Olean this year as Hill makes both. VCU 26 of 28 from the line, 17 of 18 in the second half.
But that's hitting free throws, value in the ball, that wins you games.
Under 10 seconds for Simmons to hit another 3, 4 or 5 from behind the arc, finishing with 22. And VCU is going to run it out and get their 4th win in a row, get their A-10 conference opening victory, and start A-10 play 1-0.
Yep.
The road to Pittsburgh started this afternoon.
Started now.
And VCU's on the good side of the ledger as they win it 89-82 over St. Bonaventure. We will come back and wrap it up from the stew right after this on Masson and on ESPN+.
We can feel it coming. The intensity. Every snap, 1 second closer to the end. So don't just watch, obsess, savor the pressure with the NFL playoffs on ESPN.
Menu price.
Do you want 2 great seats to a VCU game in
Center to open Atlantic 10 play? VCU, a huge run down the stretch, making 8 of their last 10 shots from the field, winning it 89-82. Lazar Djokovic and Brandon Jennings each eclipsing new career highs. Djokovic with 23, Jennings with 20. Hill added 19 off the bench. And when we take a look at our game stats presented by the Virginia Credit Union, free throw percentage, dead even at 93.
Right.
Rebounding, St. Bonaventure out-rebounded VCU 31-24, but that's kind of skewed because in the second half, VCU shot 62% from the field.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you can look at this stats and it's not going to show you exactly why somebody won. This was a hard-fought game by both teams. Just making the right plays for VCU down the stretch, and it just led that way.
VCU shot 17 of 18 from the line in the second half. St. Bonaventure, 7 attempts from the line in the second half. They made all 7. Frank Mitchell had 24 points to lead all scorers, only 7 rebounds. He did not have a double-double for the Bonnies as they dropped to 11-3 on the season. VCU now 10-4, but most importantly, getting that first conference win of the year.
Absolutely. You want to start off right on the good foot. VCU came out, played a hard-fought game, and started doing that the right way. So good start to VCU. St. Bonaventure played a great game. Shout out to Miss Terry. Shout out to Ezzy. Mama, I love you. POP, hold it down.
And shout out to our entire crew
Absolutely.
for this season. A great job by them all year long. VCU's next home games will be all on national TV, so we will say so long for the final time covering VCU basketball here on Masson and on ESPN+. Thank you for joining us this season. Once again, Rams win it 89-82 over St. Bonaventure. For our entire crew, for Ed Nixon, I'm Sean Robertson. Happy New Year from the Siegel Center.